Everyone, Once Bitten here. So this is my second game using Dwarfs from the new Army book. The same list as I used during my first game. It was played on the same night, actually. Anyway, my Dwarfs versus the Warriors of Chaos list. My opponent is in the U.S. Masters tournament, a 50-man tournament comprised of 10 of the best players from 5 regions across the country, and he is using his list for that tournament. So it's a Swedish comp scoring a 15. So it's relatively soft, but there's a lot of thinking that went behind it. And of course, I have no idea what my dwarf army would comp at, so it's hard to compare apples to apples. But in case you're wondering about his list, that's why he did it the way he did. So on the far right, he's got 5 Warhounds. Those look like Marauders. They're not. Those are Forsaken, and they've got the banner of Swiftness. He's got 3 Skull Crushers, 6 Nurgle Chaos Knights with his Lord, as well as his Battle Standard Bearer. And with them, he's got a unit of dogs, some more fast cav, some fast cav, and with this unit, he's got a level 2 Herald of Slaanesh, and he's got the Chaos Familiar, so he knows three spells. And I don't know what else he's equipped with, but I know he has a 1-up armor save. He's got like the Chaos Armor and the Enchanted Shield, something like that. Another unit of fast cav just to the left of him, and they have a Herald of Slaanesh, and with them, he's only level 1. Again, if he has anything else, I just don't know. And behind him is another unit of Chaos Knights, Mark of Nurgle. They have the Flaming Banner, but it didn't really come up. So, here in the middle of the table, I have my Gyro Bomber. I've got a unit of 14 Iron Drakes, a full command. They've got the banner Slowness, so if you want to charge them, you subtract D6 from the charge. Cannon behind it, and a Grudge Thrower to the left of that, and you can see how I have them ruined up. There in the woods, I have the Iron Breakers with my Runesmith. So he's got a Spellbreaker. It's a Dispel Scroll, and on a 4-up, the spell goes away. And I gave the Iron Breaker Stubborn, and they have a thing where they can take a single leadership test on a single D6. I forgot about it, never used it. Anyway, then I have my hammers. No magical banner there, but it does have my Lord and my Battle Standard Bearer. If you watch my previous battle report, I kind of went off for a few minutes on why I built my Lord the way I did. But basically, against anything toughness 5 or better, this guy is a beast. He's just an absolute beast. His strength is 8. He has 5 attacks. And this game, again, I rolled for the worst roll possible with my hatred. So my general hates his general, and that's it. The army doesn't hate his army. Anyway, but he's in there, my Battle Standard Bearer's in with him. Then I've got, I think, 34 Chaos Warriors, Hand Weapon Shield to the left, and then I've got a unit of 20 Miners coming on sometime after turn 2. So, then he Vanguards. This is a very fast-moving army. I mean, really fast-moving. And then he wins the roll to go first, which is actually kind of bad, but anyway, it looks like that. The 2 Heralds on the left jump out of their fast cav units and come scooting all the way to the sideways lines. But this is turn 1, and these guys are way over here. So my war machines are toast. But then again, I mean, the cannon would be nice to pick off maybe a Skull Crusher or something, but we're going to be in combat so soon that the only thing bad about these guys are on my flank is that he's going to get the points for the war machines. But the war machines aren't going to do a whole lot in this game anyway. That's what I'm thinking. During the magic phase, he casts something. I think he cast Cacophonic Choir. I could be wrong, but I think that's what he cast, and got an Irresistible Force. It didn't end up doing that much damage, and he all his spellcasters took a Strength 6 hit, and he's the only one it wounded. So, Dwarves turn 1. I actually scoot back just a little bit with most of my guys. I made a huge mistake with my Gyro Bomber. I was so focused on flying over the Forsaken and dropping my bomb on him that I parked him where I did, and I wasn't paying attention to his fast cav unit in the middle of the table that is facing me and not all that far away. So, yeah, nice one. The shooting was pretty ineffective. I think I killed 1 Chaos Knight, and the Grudge Thrower, I don't know if it did anything at all. I just don't remember. So anyway, one thing I did is on my movement phases, I backed my warriors on the far left up a little bit, so his 2 heralds couldn't charge my war machine, but you know, whatever. So he still just moves around. His Chaos Knights on the left charge my warriors. His dogs on the right charge my cannon, and his dogs do not charge my Iron Drakes. They're sitting 1 inch away. And his fast cav in the upper right charges my gyro bomber because I'm an idiot. I could have fled, but I figured if I fled, then you know, if I rally, I'm not fast cav, so I can't rally and then move. So I'd just be sitting there, and then he would just charge me his next turn. But who knows? So it looks like that. So the Chaos Warriors, the Chaos Knights, are going to make a mess of those warriors. But you know, I actually have a 5-up parry on the turn I'm charged. I'm going to have a 6-up parry, and I'm just going to be steadfast for a long time. So what I'm hoping to do here, and the reason I go into a corner is because I have miners. So I can bring my miners on from the left and then charge those Chaos Knights at the rear, and I should be able to beat them just through combat res alone, plus the miners are great weaponed. So I think I'll be okay there as long as the miners come on sometime soon. Here's the right. And after combat, yeah, the gyro bomber gets broken from combat. I don't know if he wounded me or not, but anyway, he won combat and broke it and caught it, and he lost 2 guys for his trouble, and I think 1 or 2 was from dangerous terrain. I'm not sure how much the gyro bomber did. Over here, the dogs. I was really surprised about this. I mean, dwarven war machines are fairly resilient, but yeah, he killed all 3. He had 5 attacks and killed 3 dwarfs, overran it, and then hit the grudge thrower. So war machines were a total flop this game. And over here, yeah, his guys come in, and it looks like I only did 2 wounds. That's crazy. I don't know if he just flopped his rolls or if I just rolled and see. I had a 6-up armor and a 5-up parry on the turn I'm charged, and I don't know. So dwarf turn 2. Let's see. If you look at the left, the miners come on. I was very excited about that. My generals unit with the hammers go ahead and charge the fast cav unit because the fast cav redirected me so I couldn't charge the flank of the Chaos Knights, and I understand that. So I'm just going to get them out of the way and then prepare for a charge and leave the Chaos Knights on the left to the miners. The huge mistake I made was with my Iron Drakes on the right. Instead of just standing still and shooting those dogs, I declared a charge, and the dogs fled and got away, and my guys were just stuck there in the open, and now the Forsaken can charge them, and they're screwed, and they can't really flee away from the Forsaken, because if they do, he's just going to charge me off the board between his cavalry or his heralds. He's easily going to charge them off the board. So yeah, that didn't work out well. So here's the left. There's me being an idiot. And after combat, so yeah, I'm missing a few more dwarfs. I've yet to do any wounds to his Chaos Knights, of course. His fast cav go away. I reform. There. Let's see. I started with. I think he did 2 wounds to my hammers. I mean, the hammers are actually pretty fragile. I mean, really fragile. They're toughness 4 with a 5-up armor. I mean, that's awful. So, yeah. So his fast cav do a couple wounds, and I'm ready to face down either Chaos Knights or Skull Crushers. And either way, there's going to be a lot of hammer bodies flying around the board. And over here, he does no wounds to my guys, and I do 1 wound to him, and it's a push. And we go to Warriors Chaos turn 3. So he does a crisscross in the middle. His General BSB and Chaos Knights fly into my Iron Breakers. His Skull Crushers charge into my my General's unit. I'm not sure why they're over the way they are, except if they just had to in order to get around his Chaos Knights. I think his Chaos Knights failed a dangerous terrain. No, there's 5. Yeah, there's only 4 Chaos Knights there. I think 1 just failed a dangerous terrain on the charge. If you look on the right, his Forsaken charge the flank of my my Iron Drakes. Again, if I would have fled that, he could have just charged me off the table. I know I'm going to lose this combat. My hope is that I can just at least get away. You know, at least there'd be that. Yeah, that's not a good place to be if you're an Iron Drake. So I put the Thane. I'm not the Thane. The Runesmith. He gives whatever unit he's in. He gives him armor piercing. So my thinking here was I put him with the Iron Breakers because they're mainly just they can just absorb wounds because they've got this a 3-up armor and then a 5-up parry. And so they're only strength 4, so I put him there saying, well, at least they're strength 4 armor piercing. And the hammers are strength 6, and they don't need the armor piercing nearly so much. In hindsight, I think it might actually be better to go ahead and give the hammers armor piercing, because the hammers are absolutely reliant on doing wounds quickly, and the Ironbreakers aren't. Their job is just to kind of, absorb wounds. So in hindsight, that's something I'd probably do differently. So he casts, I believe it's Cacophonic, on the minor unit. It does a bunch of wounds there. Whatever spell it is, does a bunch of wounds, and now they are random movement d6, which is really problematic because once I pivot to face the Chaos Knights, they're going to have to roll a 5 or else it's going to be a failed charge. In the process, he miscasts and blows himself up. And after combat, it looks like that. Yeah, my Grudge Thrower, despite being charged by the Herald and the dogs, still sitting on one wound. That was kind of funny. Ironbreakers lost a few guys. They actually did a wound, and so I'm okay with that. Iron Drakes got ran down. That's not great. The only good thing is the Forsaken, and it's a really awkward position. I'll tell you what was heartbreaking. My general at strength 4, his problem is getting past a 1-up armor. He's got 5 attacks. He can hit some. Strength 4, toughness 4. He can wound some, but he's got to get past a 2-up armor save. And this time he did. And when he gets a wound through, it's d6 wounds. And I rolled a 2. And if I would have rolled a 3, instead of having all 3 of his guys there got to attack me, because I think the guys on top attacked, and then my general went, and then his Skull Crushers. Because my general only did 2 wounds, all 3 Skull Crushers got to attack, and they just put a beating on the hammers. When all said and done, I did a total of 4 wounds. The general did 2, and the unit did 2. I felt it was very subpar. I'm not sure what the math is on that, but that was brutal. The hammers have to kill him quickly. They're not going to survive a grind. And my general is just wasted against these guys. He needs to be going against something toughness 5 or better. So kudos to my opponent for crisscrossing. I think if he had done it any other way, that would be a much different story. And on the far left, I have fewer and fewer warriors. He still has all 6 of his Chaos Knights of Nurgle on the left. I can't get past, the -1 to hit and the 1-up armor save. So we are random movement d6. I roll a 4 instead of a 5. The miners are not going to charge in this time. Otherwise, guys, this is everything I have. There is no movement. There is no magic. There is no shooting. When it's my turn, we go straight to combat. My opponent has very little movement. No, well, he has magic, I guess, and no shooting. So pretty much at this point, we're at the grind. So if you look at my hammers, they are just ground down. And if you look, my general now cannot get past the 1-up armor save. He's just wasted. And the hammers just aren't doing much. I don't think I did any wounds this turn. Just, oh, how awful. The Ironbreakers are getting worn down. It's not looking good for the Dwarfs. Go to Warriors of Chaos, turn 4. Yeah, movements like that. And then, I guess, well, let's go back. That's probably, I don't know if that's, I don't know. It's a grind, folks. That's what's going on. Dwarf turn 4. The miners finally get a charge in, and I've done a wound to the Chaos Knights. The problem is I made the stupidest mistake on Warriors turn 4. He cast this hysterical frenzy on this unit, and I had like 5 dice, and I threw 3 at it instead of just throwing all 5, and I rolled like a 3, a 1, and a 1, and didn't dispel it. And then the 2 dice I had left just got thrown away because they weren't enough to stop everything else he was doing. It was just the stupidest thing ever. So they had a lot of attacks that turn. On his turn. On my turn, I went ahead and dispelled it because it remains in play. So anyway, miners coming in. And after combat, it looks like that. So let's just start on the left. The miners come in, and between them and the dwarfs, they actually kill another Chaos Knight. But I can't break him. I think he was on a 6 rerollable and didn't even need a reroll. He just rolled a 6 and stuck. That hurts. My general, the champion of the hammers, and my Thane BSB are all that's left, but they finally kill the last of the Skull Crushers. and they reform. Now this is great. I need to charge my general into the flank of that BSB, get in a challenge, and start tearing some stuff up. The Ironbreakers have held out for so long. Thank goodness they're stubborn. Yeah, so finally there might be able to get some combats that aren't so frustrating, because I can't do a wound. My guys can soak up wounds, but they can't dish them out. Not against all these armor saves. The problem is this was Dwarf turn 4, and now it's Warriors turn 4. You always want to win combat on your opponent's turn. Well, I won it on my turn, so on my opponent's turn he charges in his fast cav and his dogs, and he doesn't have to kill my guys. He just needs to hold them up so they can't charge on my next turn. So it looks like that. His Forsaken were not able to charge because he killed so many Ironbreakers. They got to a point where they couldn't see, so they move around so they can charge next time. After combat, it looks like that. If you look at my general and BSB, so the champion died, so the hammers are gone. It's just my 2 characters, and the dogs stuck. Do you know what he needed? He needed a 6, and he got a 6. Oh, I think this time he needed the reroll for it, but he got it. That's huge. That's huge. Darn it. If you look on the left, we kill another Chaos Knight, but he stuck. So that's not going well. The Ironbreakers are down to my Runesmith and the banner. That's it. So Dwarf turn 5. Well, I killed the dogs, but I couldn't charge, and now I'm stuck. And now the funny thing is my Runesmith didn't get killed. I have no idea what happened. He should have slaughtered everybody there, and for whatever reason, he didn't get killed, and he's no longer stubborn, but he's stuck. If you look on the left, he's down to 2 Chaos Knights. Oh, the grind. He's grinding my guys down something fierce. But I can't break him from combat. I can't do the wounds. I can't do the wounds I need. He's probably even winning combat at this point. So, Warriors of Chaos turn 6. He throws his Forsaken into my general and my BSB. I thought it was a brilliant move. I think he's going to make a wreck of my guys. He said that if this is a serious tournament game, he probably wouldn't have done this. I don't know what else he would have done, because if he didn't, I'm going to be charging his Battle Standard Bearer and General and wrecking face. His Herald charges the rear of my Dwarf unit, he's trying to break me. I think I would have done the same thing. And after combat, it looked like this. So on the far left, he charges in. I think he wins. I think my miners aren't even steadfast at this point, but the combat's so close that it's just a push. Or, he doesn't break me. So my General and Battle Standard Bearer actually do a fair number on the Forsaken. He was only able to do 1 wound to me. Because my guys, they're fairly resilient. Obviously my opponent, he must not have rolled very well. I knew I was going to break him from combat. The choice was this. I could let him go, hope that he runs off the board. I think he needs a 7 or an 8. And reform, and then on my last turn, charge that knight unit. Or I could just get the points where I could. And I think I made a mistake. I got the points where I could. I got the Forsaken off the table. That's 300 points. He would have run off the table anyway, but I had no way of knowing that. But even if he hadn't run off the table, I could have charged into the Battle Standard Bearers unit and then killed either the BSB or the General. I think I would have killed whoever I got in a fight with, and that might have been enough points. I think I should have just restrained so I could charge the Generals. Plus, it would have been so much more satisfying. Anyway, so that's his turn. We go to Dwarf turn 6. There's nothing I can do with my characters. It's just the combat on the left, and it looks like that. I was really on a roller coaster of emotions relative to my dwarfs, because in one way I was so frustrated at their inability to hurt anything. I swear, it was like pulling teeth trying to get a wound through. But I was so proud of them for sticking around forever. I mean, the Ironbreakers had to get killed to a man. They never broke. The miners have been 2 turns without being steadfast. The warriors aren't steadfast, and they all stuck around grinding it out. This is the end of the game, folks. My opponent has 7 models on the table. I have 9 models on the table. 7, 8, 9, or 10. I can't quite tell. I think I have 9. That is a bloody game. My opponent ended up winning it by 300-something points. So it's definitely a win for the Warriors. you know, if I'd killed that last Chaos Knight on the left, that right there is a draw. I mean, so many things could have happened either way, I'm sure. A real slugfest. My concerns with this army, one, it's the same as last game. My opponent has to come to me. If he doesn't come to me, I'm just not. I'm not going to be able to get to him, and I keep on saying that, but I can't get around it. I want to play against this list and just not get into combat and just pick off a few points here and there. Two, it's another game where I didn't protect my war machines. That's just sloppy play. I don't know what my deal is. I'm letting just these uber fast units get to him too quickly. Little things like I think putting the runesmith in with the hammers. You know, I just need to appreciate use people for what they are. The Ironbreakers aren't meant to kill stuff, so why give them a runesmith? Just let them absorb wounds, but the runesmith and the hammers kill stuff more quickly, and then, you know, hammers counter killing what they're exposed to and then countercharging something else would win the battle. So I think I could have played the game differently, certainly. And my list would certainly change. I'm not sure how I'm going to change it yet. I am really, really open to ideas for how I can get around this issue of how to be able to take the game to the opponent. So I either need to take a lot more war machines and force them to come to me, or start spending tons of points on vanguarding all my units to force myself down their throat. But the problem is, it's not like we're that great in combat. So I'm very open to ideas if anybody wants to share them. So anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.